Alright, so those of you who saw my first video will know that the driver door is pretty much screwed. So we're going to take it off so that we can work on it better, because I've spent some time fussing with it, and basically whatever the connection inside this door latch here is not working. I think that it's the fittings. I've managed to get a couple of them out, but there's actually a lot of junk like this, which is probably a connector that goes up in here somewhere, and it looks like there's also this. Oh, there's my door plunger. Right there. Yeah. So basically the mechanicals inside this door are pretty much destroyed. But we're kind of lucky because at least the window works. So I've been able to keep the rain out up to this point, but since it's hard to get in here and mess with everything, we're just going to take the door off, put it on some sawhorses, try to get in under it and figure out all that might potentially be wrong with it. And if this door's got problems, then it's likely the passenger side door is going to have them too. So, thankfully, because there's no electricals, it's just 4 bolts on the inside, and we've got the power tools to hopefully be able to get in here and remove them. So I'm going to get that queued up, and it should be a one-man show, although I am going to roll the window back down because I don't want to accidentally break the window, and it's safer in the door than it is. There. So, let me get the right socket sets going here. 1/2. I'm assuming that these are SAE because it's Ford and this thing was built in the 80s. Can't imagine that they're metric. A little bit bigger than 1/2, so nope. So 9/16 is the closest we get. Yeah, it's a tight fit on the 9/16 bolt. There's not really a lot of room to get the power ratchet in there, so it might be. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use hand tools. Alright, so that's not going to work either. I'm going to have to go get my ratcheting box wrenches. Well, I backed the socket off clear into where the wrench needs to move. So to get the wrench off, I have to put the socket back in. I can't get the ratchet out, and I can't push it on because it's a button press safety, but I can't, my fingers are too fat to get in there and press the button to be able to put the ratchet the rest of the way on so that I can take everything back off. Alright, I managed to get that to work. There we go. Not ideal, but it's going to work. Hopefully. Alright, that's out, so that's the first hinge. Now, I don't know if the camera will see this, but I'll use a screwdriver to point. On the inside of the door, if you have the cover panels off, you can actually see the bracket that receives the door hinge bolts. So sometimes you have to reach in here, and it got easier when I was able to grab the other end of the bolt and help steady it while I was taking these off. But there's another set up higher in the door, right here and right here. It's just these 4 bolts, but you got to take them out from the outside like I'm doing. And a ratcheting wrench works best, but any open-ended or really any wrench in general will work. Now, for the record, if you don't have 1/2 inch, the 13 seems to grip a-okay, but that's not going to be a universal truth. Wear on these bolts can be different, and sometimes the 13s will slip if they're from different companies, just because of little differences in the way the tools are made. What was that? Did you see what that was?
Something fell.
So when I take this off, the door will want to fall out. So we might need Dad to help us with this one part. Careful, got fingers in there, but it is loose. All right. And that's it. Door's off. Here, you can just set it on the ground right here. It can lean against the wood pile, the wood post. These are like washers for the door bolts. You don't want to lose these. You have to put them back on when you go to reinstall the door. So they go on the outside right here around the door. When you put the bolts back on, you just want to make sure you match them up so that the bolts don't. I'm guessing they're here to keep the bolts from pulling through the metal skin on the door. So I don't think it matters in what order they go on, but you want to make sure you have 4 of them, one per bolt. All right, that's a Bronco door removal, relatively straightforward. I didn't think it was going to be complicated, but I also have never done this before, so.
Like that though, right?
Yeah, I need it like that. Watch the mirror though. I don't think that the wind is going to take that.
It's not ideal, but
I think what I need to do is, well, even if I take the mirror off, it's still got these little triangular brackets that it has to sit on.
yeah.
So I don't know what improvement that we're actually getting.
Let me
So
show
this
you.
already gives me an angle on the door. The reason why I wanted to do this is because I couldn't see in